Yeah, and we just kind of developed this reputation of there's Odd13, they're the guys with all the wild characters on their cans and bottles. I was big into comic books growing up, and I was kind of determined that I really wanted a package that would at least bridge that first gap of getting somebody to pick up the beer and try it. I reached out to one of my friends from high school who was just a stunning comic book artist, and he agreed to do some of the artwork for us. Since then, we've picked up a second artist. Her name's Kyrie Wozab, or just Kai is what she goes by. She's one of our bartenders.
She's incredibly talented. She can just sit down and spit out a sketch that we'll use on our cans in one sitting.
You know, some of it's traditional comic book, some of it's blended comic book and fantasy, some of it's just kind of off-the-wall stuff that we make up. The robot librarian artwork, for example, is just kind of a disembodied head flying through space inside of a jar, carrying a bunch of books. You know, Codename Superfan is more of a traditional, almost looks like a 60s, 70s type comic book hero, and some of it's really detailed color illustration that I think would look great in any comic book today. You know, all of them, we kind of try to tie in with whatever theme we're attempting to accomplish with the beer. So we started out as a taproom-only brewery, pretty much couldn't distribute at all for the first 6 or 9 months because we had just enough capacity to keep up with what the taproom was doing.
And I was hired to increase the production here.
Whatever capacity we've added has been immediately exhausted by the demand for the beer.
You know, they were just looking to get out there more and make more beer and bring more beer to Colorado the way that they like to do it.
We made the investment relatively early on in a canning line.
Hoping that Colorado will take all that we can make.
We started talking to distributors shortly after Great American Beer Fest, and we talked to probably 6 different distributors in the area. And you know, we ended up with a beer-only distributor that distributes only in the state of Colorado.
Staying local is so much fun for us.
You know, the whole New England-style IPA thing is kind of interesting. When we first opened, I put a lot of effort and time into ensuring that our beers were clear and finished.
I said, hey, I've been thinking about doing this New England-style beer. Brandon, who's the head brewer at the tap room, he was like, yeah, I've been thinking about that too. Like, let's do it.
And so I was actually really skeptical when Brandon pitched the idea to me of making one of these beers that is definitely not as clear as we were attempting to get our beers previously.
We started rolling with it, and it's been really fun to discover a whole new subset of IPAs, but it's a totally different flavor profile than a lot of the IPAs people are used to drinking.
We reached out to the other breweries that were doing New England-style IPAs at the time.
We wanted to keep trying other people's because we're like, this is so cool that other people are doing this too. You know, then we decided, hey, what if we all made one together?
Had everybody at our tap room because we were kind of a central point between Greeley and Denver, I guess.
So we all sat down here and just spent one night hashing out the recipe.
We were kind of constrained on capacity at the time, but as soon as we got some more tanks in, that was the first beer we put into them.
Definitely an organic process and something that all of us enjoyed doing, and the beer turned out great, so that's all that really matters.
So coming up in October, we have a collaboration beer that we've done a couple times in the past. The beer is called Chainsaw Princessa Karate. The whole idea behind the name is Big Choice's whole theme is that they're a punk rock brewery and we're a superhero brewery. And there's a punk band called the Aquabats that dress up as superheroes, and one of their band members is called Chainsaw Princessa Karate. Made it female because, incidentally, the beer is sour blonde with dragon fruit in it. And we had no idea about this going in. We were going to call the beer Chainsaw Princessa Karate, but it turns out that the dragon fruit turned the beer fluorescent pink. I mean, I'm talking 90s day glow pink. The reason we do October is it's a pink beer, and we give a portion of the proceeds to help breast cancer research.